Manahu. Like she said, my name is Tazba Rose Chavez. I am from the Bishop Height Reservation up near, well, in the Owens Valley, in Payahunadu, where it's a place of flowing water. That bio's a little outdated. Because the coolest thing, so some other cool things that I'm excited to share with you guys is I just actually wrote and directed a short film called Your Name Is in English. And the reason I'm telling you guys, I'm not trying to plug myself, I'm telling you because, this is about poetry and expressing ourselves and open mics, and I weaved through that film poetry. So if you're into that, I just think it's a really cool way to see different ways that poetry can be used, that not just on a stage and not just in music, but there's ways to weave it through different mediums that we have. I'm super excited to be here tonight. I've been performing since I was about 14 years old, but I've been writing probably since I was about 8. My first poem was about failure in the 3rd grade. And I think that something like this is so important because I was sharing with the organizers that, I wish that I had, as a youth, had the opportunity to go to open mics. And I didn't actually go to my first open mic till I was about 16 or 17. And I remember being in that room and finally feeling like what I was doing in my room and my notebook by myself, that, seeing other people do it. So I'm super excited for you guys to read your things tonight. So I know that list over there looks a little bit small. So hopefully, by the time we get there, some more people will feel encouraged to sign up. All right. So I'm going to share poems with you, so I need you to share some poems back with me tonight at some point. So I'm going to start the night off with 2 poems to kind of give you an idea of who I am a little bit and where I come from. And then later on, I'll close out with how, I'm going to weave some poetry with music. But the first piece I'm going to read is a poem called Being. And then I'm going to read a poem about my name. So we'll start there. I didn't even do anything yet. The dirt between my toes was soft as I dug my feet into the earth floor, breathing into the skin beneath my mother's breast to bear the heat. It was here I learned to be. Against the opposite of concrete, underneath her shirt, cheek against the sweat dripping down the skin of the woman who bore me, from a long line of women who dodged bullets for me, from a bloodline that took long walks across mesas in the valleys for me. I'm from the earth where it's green, between mountain peaks and clean streams. And as much as I'd like to believe that this is all that I've seen, the truth is I'm from a dirt driveway and a dead-end street. I come from wishes on the love seat, nose and breath against the window screen, waiting for a pair of headlights to understand me because nothing grew here, just dreams. I remember crawling with you under the barbed wire fence to lay on the grass as ants crawled beneath our backs. The sun told stories through the trees about who we'd like to be, but it didn't occur to 8-year-old you or me that who you want to be is a lot more than just being. I saw you once again at 18, through the cracks in the clouds where that silvery gold light beamed. You were covered knee-high in dirt, but your skirt, it blew in the breeze like it knew your purpose. And I lied face and belly down so the earth could coax my metronome back to her beginning, so our heartbeats could sync, so my body could remember that her land has more cuts and more bruises, more life, and is more fluid than what I tell myself I have endured. That day I stood up, barefoot for us both on the gravel of our pursuit. My umbilical cord is buried in the yard somewhere, grounding me to remember that our hurt is extraterrestrial and does not command our growth. I watched the sky collect itself in shock, shattering constellations over the sunset of our boundaries, and then the wind showed up to challenge me, but my hair swept strokes into my lips to calm my words and unclench my fists, and I let my dress go white in the breeze with my wish to let our scars go soft, and to take our question mark spine into the shape of a heart. And I started heel to toe on somewhere to go because any place is better than hard. Do you think there were not nights that we did not want gentle to spread us open, to push deeply on our souls, to pulse hard against the bottoms of our hearts with the tips of their thoughts, planting their seeds into our soil? She was once here too, in the gaze of her mirror, in her shadow on the rocks. She conducted symphonies with new heartbeats for us to live in line with, stitching our DNA with her blue veins into the fabric of looking ahead, sewing with the next generation of mothers in her thread. For granddaughters she would never meet, so that we would take lovers who will study the way that we walk, just to improve how we talk. Lovers who will let our gray matters live in their lungs and collect stars in their tongues so that only constellations will drip from their lips in describing how high we will get and witness the ways we exist. And this will have nothing to do with the switch of our hips or our nape to their lips, and everything to do with the way we hold their cheeks against a chest beating with resilience. We cannot afford to let our hearts fall to the floor. We sew with the next generation in our thread, because we inherently carry their heartbeats in our bellies.